for not being.
No point of order. I've recognized the president.
Let me start
No
off.
point of order. Honorable President, please continue.
Let me start off by apologizing for not being in the House. It was my wish and desire to be personally in the House, but
On a point of order, Speaker. On a point of order, Speaker. On a point of order, Speaker.
Ay, Shivambu,
On a point of order, Speaker.
don't do that. No, you can, but don't. You may not do it. Yes, you can do it, but you may not do it. Stop screaming at us.
Speaker, on a point of order. On a point of order, Speaker. Speaker, on a point of order. Order. Hold of order. Hold of order, Speaker. Hold of order.
Honorable members, I see, honorable not an ANC meeting. Of course. Honorable Shivambo, I'm disappointed in you. You are the most disruptive person.
Disappointed.
You are.
We are
You are
disappointed
so
more
disruptive.
in you.
Now, honorable
Speak.
members,
I'm saying Rule 69, Honorable Speaker, must be invoked because it has been breached several times. They are using point of order to disrupt the proceeding. It borders on turning this parliament into a street bash.
I hear the people who are speaking about turning parliament into street bashes. So we have not been to street bashes. So regulars will know how street bashes run.
Honorable Malema is
I said
misleading
this
the
is
House
the
that
last-
he has never been to a street bash.
in my
remove that one,
Ronald
please.
Lamula, honorable
That one must
members,
be removed.
will you please switch off your mic? Please mute. Thank you very much. Mute.
I've never been to a street bash with Lamula. He was
Point of
there.
order, Speaker.
He's misleading
of
the
order,
House
Speaker.
that he has never been to a street bash.
Speaker,
Honorable members,
point of order, Speaker.
what is the point of order?
Can that minister who just appeared there? He's lying. He must not say
No,
the
man,
president of the
please,
EFF.
man.
Please,
Don't
Speak-
do that.
Speaker, please.
You know
please.
that language
He's
is not,
casting
that
aspersion on our
language is
president
not
and-
used. It's
Speaker,
unparliamentary.
Speaker, you just read the rules now.
I
You
am
read the
saying-
rules now. You said there's no member that must cast aspersion on any member here.
You can't
That
say
minister must
a
withdraw now.
person is lying. Will you please withdraw that?
I will withdraw that.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Honorable Lamula,
Honorable Speaker. Yes, Honorable
Honorable
Speaker.
Lamula,
Yes, Honorable
Lam-
Speaker.
will you please withdraw your statement on the street bash?
Yeah, in the interest of peace, but I did not say he attended. I said
No.
that he's misleading the House.
Unconditionally, man. Just withdraw.
Yeah, in the interest of peace, I withdraw, Honorable Speaker.
I know that there's a great deal of interest in my answer to this question. And I'd like to say that without appearing like I do not want to answer questions, that I do not want to be accountable, I should say that, as I indicated before, and indicated it even in written replies to members of this House, and also indicated it in the debate on the presidency budget vote, as well as in statements on various public platforms. I stand ready to cooperate and also to give an explanation.
There is no law that permits him to avoid this question. So he must respond to the question about what happened in Phala Phala. The Reserve Bank has just responded today to say that they've asked him questions as to what is the origins of the dollars in Phala Phala, and he has still not yet responded to that as well. Why can't he be held accountable? Which law is he using to refuse accountability in this house? Who is he accountable to if he can't be accountable in this house? Because it is an obligation. It's not
Order,
an issue of
honorable
course.
members,
Even
order,
if there's
please.
a case number or an investigation, it does not give him the right not to respond to questions today. So he must respond to the questions that are asked Now the main question and all the follow-up questions that are going to pertain to Phala Phala, there is no permissibility in terms of the law for Mr. Ramaphosa not to account of the millions of dollars that are stored in his mattresses, sofas and pillows and everywhere.
It's quite important, Speaker, to note that subsection 2 says the questions must be submitted to the Speaker at least 16 days before the question day. So which means that the President and your office had these questions for 2 weeks before this matter was brought to the House. It's simply not good enough then, Speaker, for now the question to not be answered. If it was ill-suited, the question should have been removed from the question paper. Now we're sitting here and we're arguing back and forth about a matter that was now allowed to be on the question paper. The question must then thus be answered. Thank you.
My understanding is that when questions are raised to the executive, what you are minimally entitled to is the response. 2, we don't have a memorandum here, like at school, where when we ask you a question, and there's a prescribed way how to answer it. 3, we've always said, if a question is of a particular nature, where it deals with a member in a particular way, a substantive, what we call motions, needs to come to the table. This kind of a questions falls in the general set of questions. It has been responded to. Response is the minimum word. You spoke and you got spoken back to. So that's how the President has responded. You got the response.
A question on the order paper that has been correctly put on the order paper that has not been answered. And that is the crux of the issue. The President, on legal advice, has said, I am ready to answer, I stand ready to answer all questions, but has not. He has not answered the question. He's given a response, but he has not. So, Speaker, the correct ruling would be to rule, President, answer the question. Not give a response to say, I can't answer the question because I've got legal advice to do so. And if the President says he will account to investigative authorities rather than Parliament, that is a very dismal state of affairs. So I would implore the President, he says, I stand ready to answer all the questions. That is now, that he would use his discretion and answer to Parliament right now. Thank you, Speaker.